This is what your life will look like without discipline. Instant gratification and a shallow sense of dopamine and misery waiting for you at the finish line, aka hell. This is what your life will look like with discipline, with positive struggle towards your endeavors, delayed gratification, positive dopamine avenues, and fulfillment waiting for you at the end of your journey. They say that the path to hell feels like heaven, for it is hypnotizing if you let it. But the same is vice versa. The path to heaven feels like hell, but in the end, you win and it's 100% worth it. So I'm here to help you be disciplined to make it towards success through the struggle. So let's start with point number 1. The mind and the sea. Without the right mindset, it's like you're using a sword without the handle. You might get a strike in, but it won't be without you being defeated and causing damage to yourself. So one should develop calmness of mind. One should strive for a mind to reflect the sea with no wave, but still ready for action. What does this mean? David Goggins talked about something interesting that I think will benefit you. And it's that when you have a lot of stuff going on in your life, bills and school and work and maybe an injury, how you're going to deal with this, you want to do this, but you want to get in shape and it's not organized. So it's very important that you get your mind to a point where you're constantly present, you're constantly calm in the storm, because one thing can mess up your whole routine. You probably experienced it with maybe binge eating, with maybe slacking on your exercises, procrastinating, scrolling. One thing can throw you off. So it's important that you constantly stay present. Have a calmness in your mind, but a readiness to act. There's another thing that Musashi also talks about, that he says, don't do anything that is of no use. Flirting, talking to that girl, using your phone as a distraction. What you need to do is start cutting out all distractions that don't align with your main objectives. Constantly ask yourself, is this aligned with my goal? And then act accordingly. Is this aligned with who I want to be? Is this aligned with who I look up to? And if the answer is no, then you know what to do. And another point for being like the sea, when it comes to who you want to be, you want to always remember your why, your purpose, your pain, and your faith. Boat is docked as it awaits the adventure and the struggles that lie ahead. But without direction, it will not get far. The boat is you. So do you have a clear picture and vision of the direction you're headed in and your why? The body and the land. Let me explain. Once you are motivated, focused, and disciplined, training the body is like the growth of a tree, process of it. As the roots grow underground, you see nothing on the surface until you continue to cultivate it, continue to act, continue to put in those reps. And then with time, a tall, strong, sturdy tree that bears fruit of many possibilities. And so too should our actions be when it comes to training, when it comes to putting in that work, right? We're not going to see results instantly, but we are getting better. We might fail. We might get a setback. We might get an injury. There might be something stopping us, but we do what we can, still getting better. You look in the mirror every day. Maybe you don't notice it, maybe, but little by little, you're adding on to those roots, you're growing it. And then before long, you just do it for the love of the game. And then boom, you become that sturdy tree that bears the fruit of possibility. You get that aesthetic body. You get progress. You start eating right. It starts affecting how your life and how people see you, and a whole bunch of other changes. A sword must constantly be hammered and put back into the fire as it is forged, sharp and ready for battle. The importance of having a fit body is not only for oneself, but for you to protect others. Or like I always say, a second can always be the difference between if someone lives or dies. Will you be the one who saves the day, or the one who wasn't fast enough, strong enough? Not to be dark, but your body's a sword, a tool that can be used for good, and yes, even bad. The beautiful part of the sword is that the effectiveness depends on the wielder. Now, the third point of the land, your body's a temple. Temples, any religious, for the most part, place, are regularly cared for, clean, pure, serene. So too should be the things that you put into your body, as your body is a reflection of the temple, for it will lay the foundation of your physique, mind state, and capabilities. Do not disrespect the body that God gave you. Do not put to shame the body that your ancestors bled for just to bring you here. And do not give up on the body that you've already sweated for. Let's make it happen. Get the work in. Now, the third, and I think the final point, is the soul and the fire. Like the soul, fire is powerful, but unpredictable. It can burn wild and out of control or fade away. But with discipline, fire can be channeled. It can light the way. It can warm others. It can destroy what no longer serves you. The soul is the same. External factors, people, failure, pain, even your own thoughts can either dim it or set it ablaze. The wind can strengthen your fire or put it out. So be cautious of the things you let affect the wind, the flame of your soul. So be careful what you're watching on social media, what you're letting other people tell you, what you tell yourself. And I was talking to a lady and she messed up on something. She's like, I know, I'm dumb. And I said, no, you're not. Don't say that. But even those little comments that you make about yourself affect how you see yourself, affect how you treat yourself. Your thoughts become your words, and then your words become your actions. So guess how you're going to start acting when you start talking about yourself in such a way. So you got to be very careful on the titles that people put on you, the things that you're watching, the things that you're putting into your soul, and letting it affect the trajectory of your flame. What you let into your soul will be the winds that guide your flame. to its outcome, whether if it's productive or destructive. Now, I want you to be a firebender. A firebender? What are you talking about, Isaiah? This stupid. But before you click off, let me explain. A firebender is a man who knows how to channel his flames in the right direction. The fire of our soul can be dimmed, making us cowardly. For example, things like the ego death and all that stuff like that has been popularized recently. Or it can make us overly aggressive or arrogant, like the Rage Red Pill movement. Not the Red Pill movement itself, but the extreme of it. The idea is to have balance and to be in control of our fire in a positive way, to burn our enemies with precision and to have overwhelming power, but also to have that controlled warmth and comfort for others. To get anything done, you must know how to set your heart ablaze in times of need, how to get motivated, how to get inspired on your own, without the music, without the pre-workout, without the headphones. Sometimes I just gotta shut it off and see what I can collect out of my own mind, out of my bag of problems or situations where I can motivate myself. The past, the cookies in the cookie jar in my mind. See what I can dig out to keep me going. When your faith is low, when your discipline is low, when you're down and out, how do you set your heart on fire to keep you going? You don't need external fuel. Number one, and it goes back to the first point, you got to remember where you want to go and the direction you're heading in. Number two, remembering the pain that made you want to change in the first place and the pain of staying the same, staying that person, and thinking about what will happen if you quit now. What would you be going back to? The same person you are? Remarks of, oh, I knew you couldn't do it, or yeah, I knew it was hard, when you had it right in the palm of your hands. Did you really give it to your tank was on empty, or did you have more left and you felt it and you kind of think about it and it bothers you because you know you had more left? Keep positive relationships and reminders that would inspire you to be better. As iron sharpens iron, you will grow. And always keep your relationship with God first, because through this anything is possible. So this is the cheat code to how to be a modern samurai, how to have the discipline of a modern samurai in 2025. And I try to explain it in a samurai type of way, through water, earth, and fire. As I always say, and I'll conclude it with this, our approach may never be perfect, but we can always try to get a bit closer to it. And that's pretty much it, man. Mad love. Like, subscribe, share, all that good stuff. Support the brother, and peace.